Good morning, guys. Today we are starting with 5.1. And this is talking about relations versus functions, like the differences and how they're alike, and also talking about how to find domain and range. So let's start off, and you'll notice you should have gotten a big vocabulary. So there's going to be a lot of new vocabulary with what we're doing. So we're going to define some words as we go through. So a relation, that is just simply a set of ordered pairs. That's it. A relation is just when you have a set of ordered pairs, which could be a table of values as well, because a table of values like this is a set of ordered pairs. So some examples, or an example. The set builder notation, open parentheses, -6, 2, close parentheses, comma, open parentheses, 5, -1, close parentheses, open parentheses, 0, 6, close parentheses. And remember, you can pause as you go to make sure that you understand. And then the last point is -4, 1. And jot down any extra notes that you need for understanding. Okay. Now, we need to understand that these can be shown as the ordered pairs, tables, which we talked about, or graphs, or you could see it as all three. All right, now let's talk about domain and range. Domain is the set of X values. It's the set of X. So domain is always the X values within a relation. It's always the X values of the relation. The range is always the set of Y values within a relation. So domain is X, range is Y when we're looking at this. All right, so let's work one. We're going to jump down and we're going to actually work number 2. Okay. So with number 2, it is asking me to tell me what the domain is, what the range is, to write it as an ordered pair, and to graph it. Okay, not ordered pair, sorry, as a table of values. Okay, so you can choose where to start. It does not matter. I'm going to start with the table of values. And I'm going to look here. These are my X's, and you want to always put things in order from least to greatest. Okay, so let's make that little note. In order from least to greatest always. Okay, so I'm going to go -6 because this is next, because remember, in ordered pairs, X, Y, X, so that's -6, 1, 8, 1. Okay, now what are the Y values that go with this? So with the -6, it's 0. With the 1, it's 4. With the 8, it's -3. With the second one, it's -5. Okay, so now we plot these points. Okay, so for the first one is -6, 0. So that means it's on the -6. These are going by ones. So you kind of have to count. So we've got 2, 4, 6. This is -6 because this is 0, 0. This is the origin, 0, 0. So if you need to label that, label it if it helps you with understanding the ordered pairs or how to plot. 2, 4, -6, 0. So it's a -6 on the X, 0 on the Y-axis. So this is this point right here. 1, 4. That's 1 on the X, 4 on the Y. So here's this point. Next, 8 on the X. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8. And then -3 on the Y. So I go, and I'm kind of looking where they meet. So it's at -3, and 8. And there's my point. Okay. Next one, 1, -5. So we have 1, 2, 4, -5. Okay, now this is where things are going to be different when we, not necessarily different, when we write the domain, we put this in set builder notation. And again, we write it in least to greatest order. So I start with -6. Now, if I notice there are 2 1s in the X, you only write it once. Okay. Only write number 1 time. Okay. And then we have 8. So that is my domain. Now, when I list my range, again, it's not in the order that it's written here. It is in order from least to greatest. So from least to greatest, set builder notation, and I have -5, comma, -3, 0, 4. And there's my answers for those problems. All right, looking at number 3. Okay, this is where instead of given the set of numbers, the set of ordered pairs, we're given the graph. So I have to come up with my set of numbers. So I'm going to start going, I always read from left to right. So I'm going to start with this point right here. So I write my set builder notation, open parentheses, and this is at, I'm looking at it, it's at 2, 4, 6, -6 on the X. So that's a -6. And then where is it on the Y? 2, 4, 5, -5 because I'm below 0. So there's the first point. Next one. Oh, this is at 0 because that's the ordered pair on the X. So this is 0, comma, and then what is it on the Y? 2, 4, 6, -7. And then we have 2 on the X, 4 on the Y, and then the last one is 4 on the X, 4 on -4 on the Y because that's below. Almost made that boo-boo. Okay, so now we can fill in everything else. All right, so the X values of the table, remember that's an order from least, it really doesn't, this doesn't have to be in order. Okay, but it's nice. -6, it makes everything else easier. -6, 0, 2, 4, -5, -7. Oh, I forgot my close bracket there, close parentheses. 4, -4. Now the domain, that's where I'll list the X values. So remember, domain is X. So I'm going to have, and it's in order from least to greatest. So I have -6, 0, 2, 4. Notice none of these repeated. Range is the Y. Okay, and then we remember we put these in order from least to greatest. So -7 is the smallest because it's the farthest away from 0. -5, comma, -4, comma, 4. Oh, wait a minute. Why does it have it written? Oh no, I did something wrong. I wrote here, this is the X, that's wrong. This is the Y. I did boo-boo big time here. When I'm going up here, this is how far, so I'm trying to find where does it hit here. This is 2, 4, 6, 7. This is supposed to be -7, which means this is supposed to be -7. I wonder how many are going to come up and say, Miss Wilson, you made a mistake. Okay, so that means that this one does not belong because there are 2 -7s written and I only write it one time. There we go. Okay, moving right along. We're going to look at now talking about what a function is. Okay, sorry about that mistake, guys. Okay, so a function is a specific type of a relation. So it is a relation. It is a relation is a function if each x value is paired with one and only one y value. That means x's do not repeat. The x's do not repeat. If the x's repeat, it is not a function. Okay, so let's look at a couple of examples. Okay, when I'm going through, you want to look at the x's. 6, -4, 2, -7. They're all different and they all have a different y value, but you're really looking at the x's. All the x's are different. So this is a yes because it wants me to determine. So that means I'm writing yes or no. Okay, here I've got 1, -5, -1. Oh, the 1 is repeated. Now I look at my x's. This is different. If they were the same, it would still be a function. But because they are different, this is not a function. So you would actually just write the word no. But I'm trying to your notes. Okay, now that's from just looking at the ordered pairs. Let's look at it from a table of values. Okay. When I'm looking at this, remember, all we're looking at is the x values. -2, -1, 0, 1, 2. Those are all different. So therefore, this is yes. But some of you may be like, well, wait a minute, these y's repeated. It doesn't matter about the y's. The x's are what you're looking at. All right, last part. It's the vertical line test. Okay. When given a graph of a relation, the vertical line test can be used to determine whether a relation is a function. Okay, it's the easiest thing to use when you're given a graph. So let's talk about what it means, how you figure it out. If any vertical line passes through the graph, any vertical line passes through the graph of a relation, remember that's just a set of ordered pairs, which is just the dots on the graph, okay? More than one time, it is not a function. If passes once, it is a function. It's easier to sometimes really rule out if it's not. Okay, so more than one time, it is not a function. Once, it is a function. All right, so let's look at a couple of examples here. The easiest thing I like to do is take your pencil, or if you have something that's like a straight edge, go through it and read from left to right. One time, one time, one time, because this is a straight line. This is a vertical line. Once, once. So therefore, this is a yes, because it passes the vertical line test. Okay, here, starting over here. once, once, once. And it's crossing here and here 2 times on that one vertical line test. So this is no. All right, finish the notes and work on your homework and have a great day. And remember, if you've got questions, jot them down and come ask in class. And pause and repeat and take as much notes as you need.